Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us again today. For those following this is the third part in a series of ongoing conversations about Everest Group's recently released DCT or Decentralized Clinical Trials Peak Matrix, which we released to the market in July. Given the interest in the landscape, we're doing a series of these conversations with the life sciences leaders to really unpack learnings from this assessment. So I have with me today Nisar, who's going to walk us through what we are seeing from an ecosystem and a vendor model perspective. So we evaluated about 30 odd vendors for this peak matrix. And before we finalized the 15 that you see on the chart today. Nisar, first of all, thanks for joining us. What I assume is that, there are a bunch of different vendors in this ecosystem. Were there any specific patterns that you observed in terms of, the kind of vendors that we see here?
Yeah, sure, Nitish. So broadly, you'll see traditional clinical technology vendors, the likes of Medidata, IQVIA, etc. You'll also see DCT native vendors such as Medible, Science 37, and you'll also see a mix of CROs such as Covant, Signal Health, who are in this mix.
All right. So, the natural question I have as I see this is, would it also mean that they have different business models that they're taking to clients? Because, you have the core set of tooling for DCTs, as we all know, but then you also have all of these ancillary or wrapper services to make DCTs truly successful. So, does that lend itself to different business models as well?
Yeah, definitely. And if I move on to the next slide, you'll see 5 sets of vendors who emerge out of this ecosystem. The first one is those who offer both the platform and the services themselves in-house, such as the likes of Science 37 and Obio Health. Then we'll see the likes of Red and Medable who are offering the platform, but are partnering with CROs such as PPD, Seniors Health for offering the auxiliary support services. Then, and all of these, the parts 1 and 2 are end-to-end platform providers. Then we'll see Medidata and Clinical Link, the likes of those who are trying to partner with CROs for auxiliary support services in certain limited areas, and also offering platforms or products for DCTs. Next, we're seeing CROs also trying to enter this space, given that they have a good BPS heritage. They offer the point solutions for DCTs, and they also offer the technology required to run the DCTs. And last but not the least, we have the SaaS only or the self-service platforms who are trying to offer the technology for DCTs, but they're leaving it up to the clients to use the auxiliary support services themselves.
Got it. This is really interesting. I think what will be interesting to see as we think about the next 12, 18 months is, first of all, how these business models evolve, because I'm sure there's going to be vendor ambition as well as change in the way they work. But B, given the investment interest in the space, what happens on the mergers and acquisition side with this M&A wave that we are seeing. But this is really interesting. Nisar, thanks for joining us. For others, this is a part of an ongoing series on this topic. For the full analysis, please click on the link in the details and you can see more. Thanks for joining us.